the verge of winning. They would go 3 and out. The Raiders get the ball back. 35 seconds left to play. Down by 4. 1st and 10. Darren Waller, what a day he had. 200 receiving yards for the tight end. That would set up this. Here's Bob Wischusen on the Jets radio.
All-out blitz. Steps up in the pocket. Unloads one down the left sideline. Looking for Ruggs. Drops it in. Touchdown. Are you kidding me? Henry Ruggs down the sideline, and Carr finds him for a go-ahead touchdown with 5 seconds to go.
And that is how it ended. Just take a look again. Rex Ryan, we will talk about this at length, but this is the defense that the Jets called on a play where if they just make a tackle inbounds, the game is over. Instead, that is a touchdown, and the Jets remain winless on the year. Take a look at this. Prior to this, they were 251 Hail Mary pass attempts going back to 2006 that involved at least 40 yards to the end zone and and no more than 15 seconds, all while trailing by 4 to 8 points. Basically, this play. On none of the previous 251 attempts had any team sent 6 or more defenders. The Jets rushed 7 on this play yesterday. Let's hear from them.
We just played the call that the coaches called, and and we just got to execute. But you got to help us out at the same time, just being a better call at that spot. We know the type of coaching staff we have. We know the type of coaching that we have. He's aggressive call playing. Tough situation for our young guys. I just feel bad for them, just being out there on the island.
With 7 seconds left, I couldn't believe they all out blitzed us. But as soon as I saw it, man, I was thankful.
Well, isn't there a lot to unpack here? Rex Ryan, let me start with you. No one has designed more defenses in their life probably than you have. The Jets went 0 blitz on that play. What is your first reaction?
Dumbest call I've ever seen, and been around the thing for 58 years, 30 years as a coach. That's the dumbest call ever. There's no other way of putting it. Look, and it's not like cover 0. There's a time and a place for cover 0. That thing sure ain't it. It's just stupid. It's just absolutely stupid.
As you watch that there, they actually have a linebacker who it looks to me is spying the quarterback.
Well, here's the other thing. They don't even know how to run a thing cover 0 blitz. Number one, in a cover 0, and by no means do I mean this is ever appropriate to call it in that situation. But in a cover 0, number one, you'd rather be early than late, okay? And the other thing is you pressure rush. So they got a guy 10 yards back. He ain't pressure rushing. That's why Derek Carr is able to step up. So not only was it the stupidest call ever, they don't even know how to run a dang cover 0 blitz. And you wonder why they give up 400 yards a game. You wonder why this team hasn't won a game. And the thing I feel bad about is for every one of those kids that have been a laughingstock of the league. The Jets have been the laughingstock of this league. And for you to put those kids in that situation, to take the moment away from them, a win after all their hard work, that's just ridiculous. And look, Ryan and I differ in this. We both know Greg Williams. So, his take on Greg is, we all know this cat. He's the biggest ego. Look, I got a big ego, but I'm not stupid that way. Yes, I have an ego, and I will try to knock the hell out of your quarterback, but I'll beat your protection. I don't have to run cover 0 every snap like this cat.
So Greg Williams is who we're talking about. To be clear, is the defensive coordinator for the Jets, and he is basically the head coach of the defense. Adam Gase has next to nothing to do with it. This has to be said before, RC, we hear about your thoughts on the play. It has to be brought up, if only because it was all over Twitter immediately yesterday. Dan, the Jets are a team that it greatly benefits to lose rather than win. The word tanking was all over this yesterday. Did the Jets tank that play?
No, the Jets did not purposefully tank that play. This is ignorance over malice. This is what happens when you have an ego. This is what Greg Williams does. I've seen this time and time again with Greg Williams. He does not care the situation. It's a dumb play call, like Rex said, but this is what he's always done. This is 2 years ago, a very similar situation. And if you 4th and 10, if you give up a 15-yard completion, you have a 1-point lead, game's over. It worked this week. I remember watching on television people praising this decision, that he forced the issue. you that he wasn't going to let sit back and let the Hail Mary or the chunk play become a completion. It just is an ego thing. This is what Greg Williams always do. Guys, 2011, I was playing for the Colts. We were down playing the Saints. We were down 49-0. 49-0. It's the last play of the game. It's 3rd and 20. He zero blitzed me. Like, that's just what the guy does. He does not care. So everyone's saying this was on purpose. This would be my pushback. On purpose would be something random, right? That's something that stood out that had not been seen before. This was part of their plan. It always has been. It always will be with Greg Williams. Stupid play call, but it's not tanking.
RC?
Listen, and Rex kind of mentioned it earlier, I really like Greg. If not for Greg Williams and this kind of personality and this type of attitude, a dude that was working for the Tiger Athletic Foundation in 2004 on July 28th and then picked up by Washington on July 29th doesn't become the starting free safety next to Sean Taylor in week 4. But because he doesn't care, because it's just like, you know what, I'm going to play and do the things that I like, this is kind of what you get. And it's almost like we are now punishing Greg Williams for being everything we want people to be. We want people to have clarity, right? We love that Baker Mayfield now has clarity. Greg Williams has clarity on who he is. We want people to have an identity. We want them to know who they are and stick to who they are. This is who Greg Williams is, and we've seen him do this before, and he did it yesterday. And absolutely, it's a stupid call because Henry Ruggs was matched up on Lamar Jackson. He's the fastest man in the NFL, and you allow him a one-on-one matchup where the quarterback can see him and your linebacker doesn't dog rush. But this is who he is. Right. And so it's not tanking. It wasn't that he wants Trevor Lawrence. It wasn't that he wanted to lose the game. It wasn't that he was trying to take away from what these boys had done. What he was doing is saying, this is the way I end football games in this situation, and this is the way we are still going to end it. No matter who's on my team, no matter the fact that we haven't won a game and this may cost us, I'm going to go out being who Greg Williams is. And it just didn't work.
I get it. And look, I will say this. I agree, because to suggest that the Jets did this on purpose would suggest a level of aptitude that they have not demonstrated the entire season. It's much easier to assume than inept than some sort of brilliant. But Cindy, do we have the play before? Because it wasn't in the highlight, but it should be pointed out for those who didn't see the game. The Jets almost gave up a touchdown on the play before. The Raiders had wide open receivers behind the defense on consecutive plays. This was the second to last play, Rex. So how does this happen?
You know, I guess that, look, these guys are horrible on defense. They have no idea how the hell you let anybody get behind you in that situation. No wonder Greg went cover 0, because they can't cover him anyway.
But it's unimaginable, right? On consecutive plays, they have a receiver behind every defender.
But it shows you that you're not practicing situational football, because you got to practice this. And if you don't, that's what it looks like. And so it's like, hey, these guys already mailed it in. And the thing, Greeny, we're talking about tanking, like Greg Williams won the tank. Like he's going to be there? Right. There's no way in hell he's going to be there. Right. So, shoot. They ain't taking it.
Aren't Jets fans happy?
That's rude.
Oh, you know darn well. We're all happy.
Yes,
right.
Of course. Right. I mean, there were
Greg
videos.
Williams should never pay for a meal in New York City again. That was the best thing that could have happened to them yesterday.
That's probably true. But I agree with Rex. I feel bad for the players.
Oh, my God.
They deserve to win that game, and their coach lost them that game. And it was in a year in which they have been the laughing stock of the league.
Adam Gates been losing games all year.
Yeah, it's true.
Now it's on Greg Williams.
It's just evened out the ledger just a little.